Hey there, lady. My name is Molly Conley, and I'm devoted to helping women reinvent their love lives, whether that's after divorce, dating on and off the apps, or in their committed relationship. Why? Because I've been there. I'm a former college athlete who filed for divorce 3 years into marriage, swam in the online dating pool into my late 30s, and now I am married to the man of my spreadsheet dreams who I met 4 months before the world shut down. As a dating and relationship coach, I help my clients shift the focus from being obsessed with finding Mr. Right to shifting to herself as Miss Right Now. We build a foundation filled with clarity, connection, and confidence, knowing she is worth waiting for. Each week on the podcast, I'll bring you love life insights and savvy guests, where you will receive the courage to release programmed limiting beliefs. Discover patterns and behaviors restricting you from finding and attracting quality men, and ways to choose yourself first so you can build a foundation for a healthy relationship with yourself and a partner. Hey, lady, welcome back to Reinventing the Arena podcast. I hope you enjoyed your Labor Day weekend, the last true weekend of the summer. I know that I am, as Brad and I are currently in Colorado, but an update on that later when we get back. I was curious, has this podcast helped you in some way, either big or small? If so, please leave a written review wherever you get your podcast. It really does support the show and help other women like yourself find this podcast. All right, let's get into this. A lot of us don't realize that there are so many different things in our life that are affecting our love lives, both when we're looking for a partner and when you actually are in a relationship. And sometimes those patterns in our life, they aren't really related to dating. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about one pattern that has held me back for years, and it's held back my clients. So it could be affecting you too. Now, I know you've heard this from me before in, numerous ways, and we have never fully dived into this topic, but it's paying attention to the company that you keep. The people you surround yourself with can hold you back from either, the love you're looking for, or it could be impacting your current relationship. These people are not good for you, either for, long periods of time in your everyday life, or they might actually not be good long-term either. And these people, they could be a friend, a coworker, or even a family member. And before I get into this, please know that I believe blood is not thicker than water. Blood is what made you family. But family for some people is not, and I will repeat, not always a good memory or situation. You are your own person. You are the main character in your life and your life only. Every person, every connection you have, every connection, every person that is in your life has a role to play. You are the one who allows what type of role they get to play. You are a self-sufficient, ambitious woman who can make her own choices. You are no longer a child. It is your life to live, so live it. So now that I got that out of the way, the people you surround yourself with will greatly impact your future and your romantic relationships. If the people you're surrounding yourself with are putting you down, making you jealous on purpose, or you feel as if they're, always trying to compete with you, there's a problem. So let's first talk about the 10 ways to spot these people in your life. Basically these are what I like to call red flags, to recognize these people who are not good for you, who are not happy for you, regardless if you're, happily single, dating, or in a relationship. Number 1, they are not accepting of your choice of who you like, date, your current partner, or your relationship. Number 2, they criticize and are judgmental of your dating matches or your partner. Number 3, they try to compete. with your dating life and your partner in some way, basically for attention. Number 4, they try to embarrass you in front of your date or your partner. This one includes family members. Please note of that. Number 5, they occupy all your free time, which that all includes hanging out, texting, visiting, talking on the phone, sending memes back and forth, or whatever on social media. And that leaves you to have no time left to date or to spend with your partner. Number 6, they only focus on the issues or flaws in your relationship, whether that's past or present, and that's all they want to talk about or all they want to hear from you. Number 7, they get jealous easily of your happiness, especially when a date goes well, or when you're just in a happy relationship and you're just satisfied with their partner. Number 8, they try to discredit your relationship, satisfaction, and happiness. And they do this by making you feel guilty for leaving them out or for anything else that might make you feel guilt or shame. 9, they only see the negative side of their current or past relationships. And they try to convince you to ignore all the good in your relationship by projecting their issues onto you. And number 10, they have unhealthy lifestyle habits and they try to pressure you into do things that are against what you want in your relationship. This could be like, very easily think cheating or being a wing woman. If any of these remind you of a person you know, then you need to think about the role they are playing in your love life. Are they hindering you from having a good date or relationship? Are they affecting your mental health? Because they can. Are they saying things like all men are cheaters because her last boyfriend or husband did that to her? Consider all avenues before taking action. When I think back, maybe 8 to 10 years ago, I had 2 friends who had a combination of some of those that I just mentioned. One of those friends would constantly make fun of me for who I dated or who I matched with, like on Bumble or whatever. She'd say things like, he's so ugly, or he has a horrible laugh. She'd put me down for things that happened when those first dates would turn into a relationship. She'd say something like, oh, of course now he's an asshole because you've been choosing to spend more time with him. Or or when I decided to share things with her because I'm like, oh, this romantically happened between me and my now partner, she'd go back and she'd tell her husband all about it. For me to only find out during a night at their house having dinner and drinks. I slowly started to pull away from this so-called friend, only to find out she continuously talked bad about her friends behind their backs, and she did the same thing to me. It took me 2 years to see all of this happen and have the courage to choose myself. I sent her a text one time saying I didn't appreciate the things that she said about me, basically to her friends and to her husband. And her response was, well, then you shouldn't have done those things. To this day, I just cannot fathom how someone could respond like that. And it ended our friendship right then and there. So, how do these people actually influence or affect your love life? I'll share 2 examples. The biggest one is their influence over you, and this can be significant, especially when it's a long-term friendship, someone you see or talk to often, or even a close family member like, your parents or a sibling. If your best friend thinks men are trash and talks about all the reasons why men are trash, you are going to start to believe men are trash. You will then attract shitty relationships and shitty men, all because you won't be expecting anything better because, all men are trash. This is going to keep you stuck dating men who are not good for you, possibly toxic, and keeping you from evaluating and elevating your standards. Okay, but what about family? well, they can greatly impact your love life. And obviously long term because, family holidays and family functions. If you have family members who are intrusive, they invite themselves over, they want to spend all their free time with you, they want to know what you're doing constantly. Like they even come into the bathroom when you're showering because they're your mother, you have a problem. I remember my first marriage. This happened a lot. My ex-mother-in-law and my ex-grandmother-in-law would stop over to our house unannounced, even when my ex-husband was not home. I came from a family where this was extremely disrespectful. Only neighborhood kids would do this to ask my brother and I to come out and play. And personally, I cherish alone time. And your house, your residence is your sanctuary. You control who is allowed in your space. Obviously, these people didn't understand that. So I stopped answering phone calls or answering the door when they stopped by unannounced. This didn't go over well because they were upset for me at not answering, but they didn't understand boundaries. Another example was when I wanted to have my ex-husband's family over for like a small Christmas dinner where I would have an 8-course meal. I loved the idea of cooking for everyone, and I could not wait to decorate and host. Well, my ex-mother-in-law started inviting everyone else to our holiday gathering without our permission, meaning her parents, her siblings and their kids, and then the other side of the family. This was at least an additional 15 to 20 people that I didn't want to have over for numerous reasons. I was really upset, and my ex-husband surprisingly handled it, but once again, it was not well received. Situations like this with family members and the ones I listed before will continue to happen until you set boundaries and act on them. Now that I share these, how do you keep this from happening when you want to keep these people in your life at some capacity? Start off by setting boundaries like I mentioned, but this time with yourself. If this friend keeps talking bad about your dates or your dating life in general, don't talk about it around her. Or start reducing the time you spend with her, including texting. If it's family and they ask, when are you going to settle down? Set a boundary that it's none of their business. When you know, you'll know. And maybe they will find out when you care to bring the person around. Next, consider the source. My mom used to say this to me a lot when I was a kid, and I didn't realize what she meant at the time. So let's pretend your friend has a horrible luck with guys. The first date is always amazing and it turns into like a 3-month relationship, but next thing you know, it's over. Something like that. Then you're dating someone and it's right at the 3-month mark. She says something to the fact that she's waiting for your luck to run out or that the relationship is going to end. That's her projecting her situation onto you. Just because it happened to her, it's not necessarily going to happen to you. Another one, keep things private. Somewhat like I mentioned a few moments ago, you don't need to share your love life status with everyone. And honestly, the same goes with what occurs in your relationship. It's one thing to vent to a good friend every now and then. It's another when you're constantly sharing things that bother you, causing drama in your relationship, or even sharing your sex life. If you can't talk about these topics with your partner first, it's a red flag that you need to work on. Lastly, draw the line. If your friend or family member is constantly putting down their own partner and is wanting you to share something that bothers you about your partner, you draw the line. If you're happy, single or taken. And if they start talking badly about your dating habits, your date, your relationship, it's on you to draw the line. And if they're sassy about it, that's their problem. Something that you could say would maybe be like, last time I checked, I made these choices, not you. I don't expect you to live my life, and I don't appreciate you commenting on my love life whatsoever. Well, lady, I hope today's episode helped you in some way. Take some time to evaluate those relationships with friends or even family members if they do have any of those 10 red flags I listed before. Then determine how you want to move forward with or without them. Thank you for listening today, lady. And I have a surprise for you. Applications for Building Love Inside and Out have been extended. You can now apply through Sunday, September 10th. I'll be going through all of the applications on Monday, September 11th. I hope you get yours in as soon as possible. All right, lady, until next time, have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to this episode. If this show has helped you in some way, big or small, please let me know by leaving a review wherever you listen to the podcast. It really helps other women just like you find the show. Have a good rest of your day, lady, and I will talk to you next time.